Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's happening? Happy Hump Day. Good morning and welcome onto the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and yours worldwide on the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Alongside Geoff Haxton, I'm Chois Woodman. Lucas White back behind the glass taking care of us. You too can hit us up. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions, all welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app and at 107thescore.com. An array of topics to get into today as we look ahead to a busy weekend. Busy in that Texas Tech football has a game on Saturday night that could get them bowl eligible up in Ames, Iowa. Busy in that the Texas Tech basketball team departs on a venture, a fact-finding mission, if you will. See where you're at this point in the season, at this point under or with a new team, essentially. And you got the worst draw in the tournament, right? One of the two worst draws in the tournament for the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, Creighton or Arkansas would have been the two worst ones. It's the only ranked versus ranked matchup in this tournament in the first round. So it's kind of tough there because Arizona's ranked, San Diego State's ranked, Arkansas's ranked, Creighton's ranked, and Texas Tech's ranked. So there had to be one of them, at least one of them. But we'll see what the Red Raiders are made of. Coming up on Monday, we'll dive into that. I'm going to steal a question that Jamie asked earlier on the morning drive as well. We'll take your thoughts, your comments, your questions, whatever you want to get in. Yates Flooring Center chat line open to you through the 100.7 The Score mobile app. How are we doing today?
Good. Yeah, starting to assemble clean laundry.
Assemble clean
to
laundry.
have it on call, ready to be packed, and thinking about the trip and what needs to be done, and watching Kevin McCullough kill it for Kansas, and watching the Lady Raiders not have a good night, and
that was kind of rough.
Hitting the pickleball, and that's what I got going.
Pickleballs. How'd you do?
Not very good. Too many mistakes. Too many bury it into the nets.
It's a frustrating game. She's a fickle mistress.
Yeah, because like one time you hit it one way, you think, okay, I can do that again, and then it doesn't have the same result.
No. And then you're like, oh, man, that was a nice aggressive shot. I'm going to be aggressive again. And miss the next two or three. Like,
and then you started hitting like those little lob serves towards me. And I'm like, oh, this, and if you do that in racquetball, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're a dead man.
Just crush it.
I hit it long 4 times on the return.
You can't hit it long in racquetball.
But I was like, oh, yeah, this will be great. And it landed in the exact same spot 4 times. I was like, how does that happen?
Tell us what you think. Get your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I'm dragging a little today, I'm going to be honest. I'm tired. I'm not used to late nights.
How'd that go?
I had to trek back from Amarillo. It was fine.
You know the way.
They swept. Yeah, I do know the way. But
you don't have to pull up your GPS for that one.
I'm an old man. Don't like going to bed at midnight. So that was. I'm gonna play some wake up here with the Red Bull in a little bit. My question for you, and I'll let you. You know what? Forget it. We'll peel it back now.
You know what? Forget it.
Forget it. Let's just peel it back now because it's not my question. I'm stealing it from Jamie. Looking ahead to Maui, and we'll dive into the whole bracket a little bit later. But looking ahead to Maui, is 2-1.
By the way, Louisville lost again.
I saw this.
To App State.
Appy State. What is going on? Seriously, for Louisville, that's got to feel like a nightmare that's not ending. Like that you're just stuck in in a nightmare that you can't get out of because they keep losing. And it's not like they're just a terrible basketball team. They're losing 1-point games over and over.
Over and over.
I think all three of their regular season losses have been 1-point games, right?
It's close to that. If
yeah,
not.
I know the last two have been
one possession for at the most.
Yeah, so it is like I keep seeing these posts. I'm like, you're kidding me. That's got to be a typo.
Well, their coach, and I'm sorry, is it Pollard? I think. Who's the coach of them? He started putting it on the players now. So this will be interesting. He's like, there's at some point got to be some pride in your effort. So.
It's like the coaches are putting together a great game plan, and the kids are screwing it up.
Those kids that we recruited and paid.
Yeah, that's wow. How about those Louisville Cardinals?
So you're asking about 2-1?
Yeah, is 2-1 a successful trip?
Oh yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I would think so. So yeah,
2-1's a great trip.
Bellarmine. 67-66, Wright State 73-72, App State 61-60. Every single game has been 1 point. So it's
nightmare.
Torture. It is a nightmare. Okay, sorry, I'm back and forth here. 2-1. You call it a great trip? 2-1 or a good trip?
Good trip.
Okay. Yeah,
a great trip is if you got a 0 in the loss column. But I think a very good trip is if you come with more wins than you do losses. You know, one thing you had to watch for in that thing for years and years, and I'm not sure why this is the way that it is now, but the host institution is a D3 Chaminade. I just like saying Chaminade.
It's fun to say. Sounds like a toilet paper. Sorry.
You really derailed me with that one because I was trying to think of the slogan for Chaminade toilet paper. But they were in it forever, so you could kind of guarantee if you did cross their path that you would get a W there. That could skew a 2-1 record if one of your wins was Chaminade.
Sure.
But they're not in the field. It's a really good field. And
minus Louisville.
At this point. You know, again, still tons of talent. You'd have to watch out for them because they're going to be wanting to make a splash now. So, 2-1, I'd take that right now before we get wheels up.
I think so. I'm with you. 2-1. Now, the how on the 2-1 all matters. And that's, again, where the tough draw in the first game is tough. Because if you were in the bottom part of the bracket and you go 2-1 and win in the championship, it's like, or losing the championship to...
If you were on the other side of the bracket, you might play Isaac Likely. Do you know that? He's at Ohio State.
I did not know he went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yep. Orange OSU
COVID year there?
Scarlet OSU.
Wow. Well, you may play him anyway. There's a chance.
It's crazy to see the production of McCullough and Shannon so far in this season.
So far. Well,
I know.
Wait and see.
I know. But
I'm holding out hope. Not for Shannon. I don't care.
I don't care about TJ.
Go have success in your home state. Other guy, not
Perry
so much.
and I were both rooting against McCullough. Well, I'll say it.
It's the end of the bench.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
You are listening to the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Alongside Geoff Haxton, I'm Chois Woodman. Lucas White behind the glass, taking care of us when we started the show off. I have a feeling this is going to be a wild show. Looking forward to it. We can make it wild. We do have our Thanksgiving draft in the third hour. You already forgot, didn't you?
No. Yeah, I'm in it.
But, we got time. You know your food.
No, I didn't.
You don't have to study for it. You know your foods.
Know exactly what I want.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving foods draft coming up in the third hour of the program. Hax is on the tiny wheel in 15 minutes.
Hate you guys.
I know you do.
And I hate tiebreakers, obviously.
The tiebreakers.
I've not lost straight up.
Straight up, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you have. No, you did lose the one.
The first one?
The one where we went, where Lucas went 10-0. You went like 6-4, and you lost straight up. 6-4.
Well, okay, so I've been on it four. This will be fourth time.
Fourth time. So I think we lost straight up one time. The other three were tiebreakers that broke the back.
Is this the fifth time?
Is it?
Face tats?
I don't know. We'll have to. Face tats.
Standing outside.
Opposite close of the weather.
By the way, we've had opportunities to do that. I mean, we might as well take care of that.
Yeah, we need to. Garlic.
Cold enough.
Garlic.
Yeah.
No, I think this is the fourth.
Okay.
I think that's all we're sitting right now. And we need to get Lucas's song taken care of too. We're procrastinators on this show. If you haven't figured it out yet. Headlines for you. Lots to cover, including not good news from United Supermarkets Arena last night as Texas Tech Lady Raider basketball falls 69-63 to Jackson State. No, it was not primetime leading the Jackson State Tigers. 21-point performance from Riley McKinney, not quite enough, as Lady Raiders just unable to get it done, losing in the preseason WNIT tournament. But game 2 of the little pool play thing is tonight, so no rest for the weary. Lady Raiders versus Colorado this evening at United Supermarkets Arena. You can hear it where we have all the games. 107.7 Yes FM, 7 o'clock coverage. 7 o'clock tip-off, 6:30 coverage start time on 107.7 Yes FM. Right here on 100.7 The Score, the high school fan zone will feature coaches from Friendship and Lubbock Cooper. Both teams, football coaches, have huge games this weekend, obviously playoff games, but against brand-name teams. Aledo for Cooper and South Lake Carroll for Friendship. So those two coaches have got their hands full this week, but should be a fun weekend on Friday. You'll hear the previews for those matchups and the recaps of the first-round playoff games coming up tonight at 7 o'clock here on 100.7 The Score, as they'll join Clint Scott in the First United Bank studio. News coming out, the whole Virginia thing, Hax, it's just awful, sad. There's not really words to describe why someone would do something like that. But the latest news out of that story is that Virginia has gone ahead and canceled the home finale this weekend, which I don't think there was a right or wrong answer on what to do here, whether to play or cancel. I think that is whatever coaches and players decided was best was the right answer, and they feel like they don't need to play this weekend. Completely understand that one. So they were to play Coastal Carolina this weekend at home. That game has just been canceled as of this morning. So Virginia will not play against Coastal Carolina. Good news.
You know, if you think about it, that's in situations like this that are just horrible. That's one of the few times that money doesn't win out in this world.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you are. Because everything, we make that blanket statement that everything's about money or money drives everything. But there is the little tiny speck, the caveat that no, I mean, they're still people's hearts, people's feelings. I mean, like real feelings, not getting your feelings hurt. So, yeah, you're right. This is a situation where money doesn't win out because they probably lose a bunch of money on this home game. Not probably. They will lose
the local merchants.
Yeah, there's a lot of money that will be lost with not playing a home game, but completely understandable. I don't think anybody's going to argue against it.
No.
Big news for the Texas Rangers, Hax.
Yeah.
Martin Perez has elected to accept the Rangers' qualifying offer of $19.65 million, and he's back. That's fantastic news. If you're looking at some of these other names like Jacob deGrom, that sweepstakes continues to be pretty interesting in the MLB offseason. But if you're looking at some of these other names, Martin Perez needs to be part of that. And whether he's a 2 or a 3 in the rotation, he pitched like an ace this year. but if that's what the Rangers need, stack up the pitching rotation, and this is a good start. Martin Perez will come back to the Rangers for at least another season. And College Football Playoff Committee puts out their latest rankings. Top 25 last night. No change from a week ago as far as the teams that will actually play in the College Football Playoff. 1 through 4, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and TCU. Now, 5, Tennessee. LSU moved into the 6th spot. Did the Tigers. You two can join us. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions, all welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I'm looking for text I just saw.
Oh, what am I going to get on the stupid wheel?
Are you excited?
No.
To get it out of the way? Someone's got to spin. We keep saying, like, someone's got to spin this, someone's got to spin that. I just spun the My Little Pony phone case, and that had been on there for well over a year. That had been on there since the start. By the way, it's doing its job. It's turning heads at times because I am so bad. I always, when I place my phone down, I place it face down. Not because I'm hiding anything. It's just natural. I always place it face down. So it's always sitting there where this, pretty sure Coach McGuire saw it when I set it right next to him at the coach's show the other day. Didn't say anything, but he looked at it, and I just quickly picked it up, turned it over.
Jeez, Coach.
He's like, what is this kid into? But last night, again, I'm sitting at the scorer's table in Amarillo, and there's an assistant coach for the Tascosa girls team that comes up and almost grabs the wrong phone because her phone's sitting there at the scorer's table on the edge, and I've just got mine right there. She starts to grab it. She looks at it, and she's I don't know if she connected that it's mine or just thought some other girl's phone is sitting there, but it's getting some attention. So I've got to be much better about, setting it face up. I'm so bad about it. Oh, so people have...
A couple of those guys from La Tech. Did you see their shoes? They look like...
I saw the cotton candy blue ones.
Yeah, they look like Easter colors or My Little Pony.
Do you know the rest of the song?
My Little Pony. That's all I know.
Daughter likes that one, right?
Mick, yeah.
Into the My Little Pony.
Gosh, she's been in a rotten mood.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't just, throw a, get it together, girl. Throw one of those at her. Come on. Pick up your game a little bit.
Come on.
Mark Walsh says, I must have missed this about West Virginia. What happened? Not West Virginia, just Virginia. Yeah. Virginia Cavaliers. There was a shooting there. 3 football players dead. This was on Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Sunday night. 3 football players dead.
Have they given any motive?
It was a former football player.
Well, I know, but
no, I don't think there's a motive necessarily. Did you see the stupid Washington Post? You didn't see it?
No.
One of the first, the article has since been deleted, but one of the first tweets they put out is about the shooter and how he had a rough upbringing, but he flourished after that. They use the word flourished. Washington Post is the absolute, it's a rag, a true rag. Anyway, there is a 4th person that's been shot, a 4th football player that's been shot, and he's in the hospital, got shot in the back. So it's an awful, awful situation. So Virginia's not going to play their football game this weekend. You're listening to The End of the Bench. Get back to some basketball and a tiny wheel coming up next on 100.7 The Score.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy hump day. It's the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Alongside Geoff Haxton Must be living right or something. Spun the freebie on the wheel. I'm Chois Woodman. Lucas White across the way taking care of us.
Did you see this here? The hockey goalie?
No.
So they got all that padding, right?
Uh-huh.
Watch the stick here. Watch the end of the stick. Gouges him in the eye.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
See him go down. It's amazing that stuff can still happen. Can you believe there's still guys in today's hockey that play without a face shield of any sort? I mean, most of the tough guys go just like the eye shield only. That's what most NFL guys go with. But
NFL?
NHL, thank you. There's still guys that go without anything. I'm like, you guys are freaking nuts. Crazy dudes.
You look like he's all right.
You have to be pretty crazy to play hockey.
That'd be shocking to
get poked in the eye with a stick. Yeah. There's a slight enough opening there. Ever so slight, or you can get it. So, Hax, I stumbled around, created something called Nickelback yesterday. Nickelback. Thanks to Collier for putting that into a picture. You've heard of Nickelback and you've heard of Nickelback, but have you heard of this? You don't get it?
No.
It's Nickelback. Two things that are universally hated by most people. Nickelback.
Finally.
Sorry.
Because I was still on Nickelback.
Bach. This one's Nickelback.
Okay. Nickelback.
Just meshing two things that people hate together.
Did you do that?
No.
I was going to say you're reaching.
No, that was not me. Did
Reaching.
Do you hate Joe Buck? There's a lot of people who do. He's fine to me. It's fine.
He's fine.
It's fine. Jake Archer's living forever. It's fine. But there are people that legitimately, like Nickelback, cannot stand Joe Buck.
I know.
Like,
yeah.
just hate him with all.
I think he's fine.
It's fine.
But I do think he's got one massive crutch.
Okay.
And that is the pass is caught.
Just hanging on.
Listen on Sunday, man.
Mm-hmm.
Every pass is dropped.
He's not on Sunday anymore.
Listen whenever he's on then.
What is it? He's
Smart
Monday,
A.
right? Okay. I'm saying I don't like Kevin Burkhart's fine.
Yeah.
Fine. But I still miss Joe Buck on Sunday. I miss Buck and Aikman on the Fox broadcast because as a Cowboys fan, you get so used to almost every game being called by Buck and Aikman. I mean, it's just they give them the prime game, and Cowboys game is usually that. So when they're on Fox, it's just like, I mean, dude, does Jim Nantz and Tony Romo go anywhere but Chiefs games at this point?
Yeah.
They're almost always on the Chiefs broadcast. It's just how it is. So I wonder if those guys like that, where they're around those teams so much, or if they kind of get annoyed and wish they were spread out a little more.
Al Michaels just dying for a decent game.
Oh, my gosh. Part of me is like, oh, poor Al Michaels, but he took such a huge bunch of money to go to Thursday Night Football and hang out with Kirk. All right. Have you heard the narrative this year for the Texas Longhorns fans? Texas fans after the Bama game. We win if Quinn isn't hurt. After the Tech game. We win if Quinn plays. OU game. Quinn's the man. Going to the NFL. Oklahoma State game. Pull Quinn for card. Put him in. TCU game. Quinn sucks. It's Arch's job next year. The evolution of Quinn Ewers. They're already out on.
Yeah, I bought Texas, I think, more than I normally do. Normally I can read the poser level and can see through a lot of that Texas and the media shove down your throat all the time with how good they're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
This year I slipped a little, I'll be honest. And the reason I slipped the biggest reason is not because of the quarterback. It's because how could a back like Bijan Robinson and their second guy, was it Stephon Johnson, something like that? I don't know.
Who is the second guy?
Roschon
Johnson. There you go. Thank you. Roschon Johnson.
He's good too. And Worthy's good. And you think the Lions are okay. This team should win games.
Supposed to.
They keep, being favored no matter where they're at. This team, Vegas thinks they should win games. So I bought into Texas more than I normally do, but that was foolish because they're a bunch of posers.
They are. But nothing has changed for 12 years for the Texas Longhorns. They have a slightly better record than Texas Tech. Slightly better over the last 12 seasons. Yet they have out-recruited you, outspent you tenfold. And they've got a slightly better record than Texas Tech. We've suffered here in Lubbock. We have. The football has not been good or what we expect or hope for. But, man, can you imagine having those kind of resources? Money, recruits, talent at your dispense, and that's the product they get. And it just continues this year. Quinn Ewers is the highest rated.
Paid
that we know of. Highest rated recruit ever. Did you know that? According to, I think it was 24/7 Sports, there's never been a higher rated
he's
recruit
up there with
out
Vince
of high
Young
school.
and
Vince Young, Trevor Lawrence, and Quinn Ewers are the three. And I think Ewers became the number one when he came out of high school. Never been a higher rated one. I'm not saying he won't have a good career, but the expectations are through the roof for him. And he's put those on himself. He has. So, yeah. Good for the Longhorns.
Did you see the basketball game going down there tonight?
Gonzaga?
Yeah. Blessing the mood.
Have you seen the line on that? I'm asking.
It's either 1.5 or 2. Texas favored.
What would you take? Honestly,
I'm taking Gonzaga.
I would too, but I don't know how much of my bias is playing into that.
I'm fine with letting my bias cloud there.
1.5.
1.5, thank you.
1.5 Texas. So Vegas is basically saying it's a toss-up game, and we don't know who's going to win this one. Gosh, I hope they lose. I hope the Longhorns lose, because just imagine on the other side of this, the Texas slobber fest that we're going to get. Oh, Beard's got it going. They're going to be a national champion team. Yeah, if Texas wins this game against Gonzaga, look out. It's going to be no fun to follow anybody on Twitter in college basketball or listen to John Goodman or John Goodman? It is John Goodman.
Jeff.
Thank you.
Oh, let him dangle.
Dang it. Don't let me dangle. John Rothstein, Geoff Goodman. Thank you.
Lucas, let him dangle there. When he's got that look in his eye and he doesn't know, you just got to let him hang there.
That is mean. He's just going to
But it's radio gold.
You're going to let me flop around like a fish in a boat, man.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Till Lucas
figuring it
threw
out.
you back in the lake.
He did throw me back in the lake. There was one person on this show that's at least a little bit humane. Appreciate it, Lucas. It's the end of the bench. We'll get back to some Tech football. Looking ahead next on 100.7 Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
All right, I have the latest bowl projections out. I'll zip through these for you as I've pieced them all together for this week.
How many Big 12 teams they got? all of them?
Oh, it depends where you look. But there's one projection that had an 8, which would be, 80% of a league is nuts. There's quite a few that still have Iowa State in. How many wins? Iowa State's at 4 wins right now, right?
Yeah, and just 1 win in the conference.
And don't they finish with TCU? I think. Or is that West Virginia? One of the 2 teams finished with. So, yeah, I don't know how much people actually put into these back-end bowl projections, or if there's an algorithm or what, but there's a few variations. ESPN puts out 2 of them.
I can't stop laughing at Todd.
The Todd. Innuendo. No. There's a filter
Who
in me
sent that
somewhere.
to you?
Do what?
Who sent that to you?
My brother.
Oh, great move.
Little brother.
Because I'm still laughing about it.
Oh, yeah. So ESPN's bowl projections, they always put out 2, Bonagura and Schleybaugh. Tech versus Maryland in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. It's out in Phoenix. Tech versus SMU in the Armed Forces Bowl. College Football News has Washington State versus Tech in the Armed Forces Bowl. 24/7, this one the most obscure one, I think. Tech versus Missouri in the Pinstripe Bowl. So that would be Big 12 running out of bowl games, having to go to a different bowl.
Okay.
And Tech being the last team in, or one of the last teams. So Pinstripe Bowl.
There you get your New York there.
That would be the New York. Oof. I don't know that I'm wanting New York in December. Pro Football Network, Tech versus South Carolina in the Liberty Bowl. You go back to the Liberty Bowl. Wouldn't hate that. CBS Sports, none. Jerry Palm, I'm not kidding. Since I've started looking at these about 6 weeks ago, I don't think Jerry Palm has put Texas Tech in once. He's got Iowa State in, which, again, I think Iowa State has to win 2 to get in. But Jerry Palm's always had a beef with us in Lubbock for whatever reason. Always undersells the Red Raiders on his projections in the NCAA tournament. Usually, I think 2 of the 3 years where you've gotten a 3 seed lately, he's had you as a 4 seed. Or even once, I think, maybe even a 5 seed. Anyway, so CBS Sports, none. Athlon Sports, Tech versus SMU in the Armed Forces Bowl. Sporting News, Tech versus Liberty in the Armed Forces Bowl. That should be fun for Lucas. As SportsIllustrated.com has Tech versus Liberty in the First Responder Bowl. That's possible. Yahoo, Wazoo versus Tech in the Armed Forces Bowl. And then The Athletic, a different one here, Tech versus Oregon State in the Frisco Bowl. So almost everybody has you going to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which bowl games, people are looking to travel a lot. The good news is, though, if you end up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're going to have a lot of fans there, as we've seen all the time. Fans can easily show up, be like, well, that wasn't part of our holiday plans to go to a bowl game, but since it's in our backyard, we'll go.
Let's go.
It's in Frisco. It's in Fort Worth. It's in Dallas. Yeah, so not bad there, but most project you in Dallas-Fort Worth, and most project you as a bowl team, that you'll win 1 out of your next 2 at least. This weekend's game, which one's more winnable to you? And I know you've been on you're beating OU thing, but if you're stripping everything away, the way the 2 teams are playing right now, which game do you think is the more winnable game?
OU.
The home game?
Yeah.
I agree. I just didn't know if there was a circumstance. So you think you'll be favored in the OU game by what?
That depends on what happens this weekend.
Yes, but if
you were playing this,
if you're
right
playing
now,
this weekend, yes,
you would be 4-point favorites.
Okay, I was thinking 3.5. Yeah, I think that's going to be around that number. You'll be slight favorites over OU, just like you're a slight underdog in Ames this weekend. There's so many things about these 2 teams, Hacks, that are just polar opposite. These 2 teams in Texas Tech and Iowa State, in what they like to do. Texas Tech loves to use tempo. Iowa State loves to be a ball-controlled team, play in the mud. The old-fashioned 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I mean, it's as much of an old-fashioned team as you're going to see. And I think that has more to do, Hex, with the inability to move the ball for Iowa State. You're not necessarily trying to play keep away. You're just trying to limit total number of possessions for the other team because of how inept the Iowa State offense has been. You look at a team that gives up 16.7 points per game, 9th in the country on that. You should think, man, that team ought to be really good. They should be really good. But when you're scoring 21 points per game, then that's the problem there. Iowa State can't score the football. And that's where I think the outside factors, the outside of offense and defense, your special teams play, your turnovers, these sorts of things that are not within normal offense and defense, that's where it gets. I mean, these are the things that win or lose the game for you on Saturday. If you have good special teams play, do not give up short fields, that sort of thing, you should have opportunities, good opportunities to win. But you give a bad offense short fields to work with, that's where it gets scary.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
All right, time for Ask the Benchwarmers. Get your questions in. Comments, all welcome on the AIDS Flooring Center chat line. Got some held over from earlier. Got a few coming in right now. Still plenty of room for you. He's Geoff Haxton. I'm Chois, Woodman, Jackson Frazier. Questions for any and all of us are welcome. Someone asked, Hax, if you were to buy you a swimsuit for Maui, what color are you going with?
I once had a white one with a bunch of blue floral print. I think that would look pretty good in Hawaii.
I think it would fit pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it fits you anymore, but fit the setting, the
Is that
scene.
a fat joke?
No, not at all.
No wonder you run off all your co-hosts, man.
Benchwarmers, is TCU going to make the college football playoff?
Yeah.
Every fiber in my being keeps wanting to say no, but they keep proving every fiber in my being wrong. I think, Hex, their struggle may be the Big 12 championship game. So they've got Baylor this weekend in Waco, and then West Virginia at home. If they get past Baylor this weekend, they're not losing to West Virginia at home. So that's 12-0. But the scary part is that 13th game, that 13th data point, where they would have to play Kansas State again, a game where they were getting whipped for a while, and then K-State loses both of their quarterbacks and all went downhill from there.
Yeah.
So that's where, and it's essentially a home game for TCU, if you want to call it that. You're playing at Jerry
We
World.
figured out a few things with backup quarterbacks this year.
Uh-huh. Who's got one and who doesn't?
Well, Chandler Morris somehow got the call to be the starter. Max Duggan is vastly better than him.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian Martinez caught a little flair there with his running ability and running all over the poor OU defense there that couldn't tackle him that day.
Yep.
That put his name in the spotlight. But I think Will Howard's a better quarterback. After really watching him, I think he's just flat out better. And he may take K-State into a Sugar Bowl. He really could.
Yep. It's possible. A whole lot of reaction to our draft there. Baked turkey is by far the worst turkey.
No.
For the love of all things holy, how did fried turkey not get taken?
Because I've never fried a turkey.
I haven't either.
It's stuff I want to eat.
Hacks one easily.
Yeah.
If there were a sixth pick, I would have had to go deviled eggs. Someone already Already got that. Oh, I think someone submitted a
Snub list?
a snub list. Let me see if I can find it. If y'all have a snub list, you can put it on the Yates Flooring Center.
Yeah, you could start with
chat
your fried
line.
turkey on the snub list.
Yeah. Jack's 1, Hax 2, Chois in 5th. 2 people that didn't make a list were better than his. Are y'all serious?
Yes.
I'm hurt. Man. My heart says Jackson wins, but my brain says Hax wins easily. It's from Tyler. Don't vote with your brain. Vote with your heart. Jackson wins. Cho saying, Jackson, I envy you, needs to be used frequently, waxin' flaxin'. Oh, here's the snub list. Smoked turkey. We already have that. Dressing. Oh, that's not a snub list. Giblets, gravy, cranberry sauce, jellied, and pecan pie. So that's just their own list. But anything we didn't draft, first 5 you can put there on the Yates Flooring Center chat line.
So, to me, there's 3 types of gravy that are available here.
No one drafted gravy.
It's mashed potatoes and gravy. It goes with it.
But gravy's its own thing at Thanksgiving.
But I know it goes on almost everything,
Right.
but it is mashed potatoes and gravy. You can't split it.
He just said mashed potatoes, suckers. He didn't say, and gravy, suckers.
Which kind are we taking here? We have white, giblet, and brown.
Almost year round, I'm going white. Like for other things, at Thanksgiving, I'm going the giblet.
I'm going brown.
I'll do brown too. I'll do any of them, but I like the white gravy, like with chicken and stuff like that. It's chicken. It's fried chicken. With the cranberry sauce, it's officially the worst list in the history of lists. Man, you guys need to be nice.
Whoa!
No, come on, Jake.
They just took you out back.
Jake picked
Cookies and cream.
cookies and cream on the first Halloween pick. First overall.
And we went through an entire Halloween draft and didn't have it selected. He took it first overall.
Mm-hmm.
Almost fell out of my chair.
How is mac and cheese cooked makes the big difference. It's true. I'm always going baked at Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say it was gonna have a little nice crispy layer.
It needs
on
a little
top.
crispy top at Thanksgiving
Maybe a little crumb
in the porcelain dish.
top.
I'll do some breadcrumbs.
Yep. Okay. More from the chat line. Keep getting your questions in.
Choice, I want to give you something on Iowa State's defense.
Give it to me.
They rank number 6 in stop rate. This is from Max Olson. He put these numbers together.
Okay.
They've held every Big 12 opponent under their scoring average. So let me tell you how far down
Okay. How
these
far under they are?
teams went under their averages.
Because Tex is 33.8 right now is where your scoring average is.
Okay, 33.8. Okay. Well, a lot of these are very close to that as far as your average against the rest of competition. Kansas, against the rest of the competition, averages almost 40 points. They were held to 14. K-State, 32.9, held to 10. West Virginia, 33.1, 14. Oklahoma State, 36.6, 20. And if they wouldn't have put Spencer Sanders out there, they'd have scored 10 points. 34.6 for the Longhorns, 24. Oklahoma, 32.4, 27. Baylor, 35.2, 31. So the Bears had the most success in keeping it close to their average out of the rest of the Big 12.
Wow.
So you have minus 25, minus 22, minus 19,
Do we
minus
need to
16, minus
expect
10, minus 5, minus 4.
Are we going to win a 12-9 game on Saturday? Is that what you're shooting for? Oh,
It seriously
man.
could be that with the
No,
bitter
I
cold.
I get it. It really could. I'm not.
With-
I'm joking, but I'm not.
Iowa State's inability to move the football, paired with a very good defense, those things to me add up to take the under. But
I mean,
I'm glad I'm not betting nothing.
It's so cliche to sit and talk about turnovers. It is, because turnovers can affect any football game. But you've got the two of the 3 worst teams in the Big 12 when it comes to turnover margin. Tech is 9th in the league, minus 6 this year.
Hey,
They're right there with you though, minus 5.
another thing is, you know how beat up OSU's defense has been.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 14 points, and one of them was, again, a blocked punt in the first half. Ball lands on like the 5-yard line. They punch it in after that. They had to have that kind of advantage to get points.
Special teams and field position in general will win or lose you this game.
McNamara needs to be great.
He does. And, again, this is where maybe if you're Joey McGuire, you take a step back and say, okay, we're an aggressive football team, but in this particular game, we cannot put our defense in bad positions.
I'll be fascinated to see how they do it.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
But again, like you said, maybe it's the opposite where you're having to take advantage.
We know
of
that if we punt it away, we might not see it for another 7 minutes.
Exactly.
And
maybe
then the game's,
This may be the fastest Big 12 game we've seen, or fastest game involving Texas Tech in forever. I mean, it may be just lightning fast.
What are your thoughts on it, though? On that, my thoughts are they won't change a lick. They won't deviate.
Yes, I agree.
From what they've been. Again, it's kind of like, this is who we are. Even though we've talked about all these things, I don't think they'll change it.
We've talked about it a little bit this year. I think Joey McGuire is still figuring things out as a head coach in the Big 12. I mean, he is. He's a rookie head coach at this level. So he's got to figure out. He's got to make his own mistakes. He's got to figure out what's good, what's bad. So in that, I think you're right. I don't think we're going to see it deviate. But I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe it's hey, this is a completely different animal. Once again, the analytics don't factor in one thing, and that's weather. And this is going to be a cold, stinking football game on Saturday.
I wonder what the over-under is on hand warmers that will be taken.
Probably 50,000. Oh, you're talking
big
stadium?
Number. No, I'm talking about like Texas Tech's going to bring.
Probably quite a bit. That's it for us. Thanks for hanging with us on a Wednesday. It's been the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.